I started athletics actually in the middle school and continued into my freshman year as a basketball player and a track athlete. When I started with the freshman or the high school team as my freshman year, there were high jumpers as well. Every day they would help coach me. There were juniors and seniors in the class. And one day we decided to have a little competition. And at that point I was just a little kid, you know, liking to go over the bar, and so we kept putting the bar up, and I outmatched them, and they were astonished, and I was too, because you know I didn't think that I was that good, and I had outmatched them that day, and from that day forward I realized that I could get better. It was like all of a sudden the spotlight was on this little freshman because she kept getting better and better and better.
In the summer of '78 and in 1979, Karla Link came out to try out and wanted to compete. I'm sure the girls made a lot of friends and had a lot of bonding. They traveled thousands of miles in my van. They flew probably for the first time to California, and they ran on some of the beautifulest tracks around the country at that time. And they did this to hopefully better themselves for a scholarship down the road.
I mean, we went all over the United States competing, and I actually went to the Junior Olympic Nationals to compete because we had gone to all these different places. So, but I think what was most important to me was when I was at school through the normal track season was to get to the best of the best. So my freshman year when I went to state, I placed 4th. I was brand new at this. I had no idea what it meant to go to Class B state championship, and so nervous, excited, and I think the top person that won first place that year, I was compatible with their height, that jump. I could have done it too, but I was so nervous. Then the second time I went, which was my sophomore year to Class B championship, I got 2nd. And again, you're nervous. You don't know what to anticipate. But by that time, I had already been competing with higher caliber athletes. And then my 3rd year I went, my junior year, same group of girls was competing for that title again, but I got 2nd. And I remember coming back after that, a couple friends of mine were in the hallway and they go, they teased me for getting 2nd at the Class B championship. Like 2nd rate. Like I was 2nd rate 2 years in a row. And I was like, what? You know, and it was a joke kind of thing, but it kind of made me mad in a sense. So then my senior year drove me even harder to get to that Class B championship and to take it. And then I did that. My senior year I got 1st, but it took me 4 years to get my 1st.
We were up north and they had an extra event, a 2-mile relay. We didn't have a 2-mile relay. We didn't have a team for that. So us distant runners said we'd run it and get the points for the team. So we were pulling together. We only had 3 or 4 distant runners and only 3 of us would commit. So we began going around trying to find anybody who would be willing to do this. Would you, run this? I know it's a long ways for you, but would you be willing to do it? Nobody would do it. Nobody would do it. We got really frustrated. We got on the bus and Karla happened to be on the bus. She was doing something and we were talking about how frustrated we were. This is a team sport and didn't they understand we needed these points? And in the middle of our conversation, Karla said, I'll do it. Now she's not trained to run distance or, of any kind. In fact, her training is for long steps and, high jumping. And we're like, really? And she said, yeah, I'll do it, no problem. So we, ran back as quick as we could to try and get our names in, but they were already getting them out on the starting blocks. So we didn't get to do it, but I remember from that moment on thinking, that's a team player, because she was willing to do something way outside of her comfort zone, or no one else was willing to do that, and I was pretty impressed. So
Title IX was brought to Congress in 1972, I believe, where it enabled women and men, but mostly women, in an educational program to have equal amount of time or equal amount of programs that the men do. So by the time I came a freshman in high school in 1977, I think it was, things were already rolling towards women in sports. So I kind of walked into something that was new, something that was opening up for all women. So in a sense, I'm really proud of Title IX because it opened up the door for girls to have the opportunity just like boys. It opened up the big door for me to walk through with a scholarship, because it was an athletic scholarship to Western Michigan University to be a high jumper. Well, I had the track club coach. His name is Jim Kanar. He's the one that encouraged us to go further than where we were. I remember one time asking him, "Coach Kanar, am I Olympic material? Do you think I'm Olympic material?" He goes, "Well, you can go as far as you want, because I will help you as far as you can go." So I was like, oh my gosh, he thinks I'm Olympic material. So I would say him, and I would also say my family, my mom and my dad. My father, he was involved in sports, and so I think he kind of continued to push me along in that area because he saw that I enjoyed doing it.
I was out in Los Angeles, the girls, we had gone to Disneyland and that and were practicing, but one night I heard pitter-patter of feet in the hallway, and I think on the roof, and I opened up the hallway, and 6 girls didn't admit to it. Of course, they knew nothing about it, but they had dragged out the 50-foot of fire hose down the hall. So they had a good time also when they were out there, and they learned a lot, and they bonded. The group that Karla participated with in this particular time really represented Muskegon and the schools very well around the country.
Now that I'm looking at my life today, I'm a teacher, I'm a parent. I also help individuals in my field, the younger group of maybe athletes that or inspiring to be athletes. I'm there to help and guide them, just like my coach and my mom and dad were for me, there to help them. I see from this side of the rainbow, so to speak, that what you do early on in your life has a large amount of effect and influence on who you become later in life. Your goals and what you inspire to be or who you want to be, you keep that after each endeavor. You don't just stop after high school.
I do recall sometimes coming back and hearing, "Did you hear what Karla's on? She's on there," you know, and she's just got one more to go and she could break that record. And it seemed that she was constantly breaking the last one. You know, we were starting to keep track of, for the first time in many years, of records. And, you know, I broke a record and I was like jumping up, down, screaming. I was so excited. And she was just cool as a cucumber. She would break the record and come back and they'd be, "She did it again," you know. All so excited. But, you know, she just never reacted full of herself or, just as casual as could be, and just always wanted to do her best regardless of what the numbers said.
When I got my letter, I was floored. This is what I've never even thought that this would ever happen. I was kind of shy in a sense, like, really? And I didn't tell my husband right away. And then I kind of sprung it on my parents when they came to visit. And then I kind of started building on it. I was like, wow, oh, hold back here, Karla. This is important. This is a big deal. And so then I wrote Ken back and I said, "I am so thankful that you invited me to be inducted in the Hall of Fame."
I think it's great. I love this, even the whole idea of it, and the fact that she was chosen is, I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, she was an incredible athlete, and it's still a good person too. And that's the right combination, so I'm not surprised. And of course, I still see her today, so, and we're still cool.
I don't know what's happened in your life since we met 31, 32 years ago. That's about how old I was then. I'm sure that you have done well in representing yourself with positive things and good things. You had them way back then. You had responsibility, dedication, character and quality, and a zest for life. And I think that you have probably portrayed that since our summer track meets. Good luck. Hope to see you again.
Next up, class of 1981, Karla Galvin. Karla, aside from the women's volleyball team, is the only woman in this program. So for that, I think we just need one big go girl. Thank you. Karla is one of 2 record holders from the 1980s in girls track. During her freshman season for the Trojans, she finished 4th in the state in high jump, and her sophomore and junior year, she earned runner-up honors. In 1981, she closed the deal by winning the state championship. In high school, she was a member of the West Michigan Track Club, and she competed in the Penn Relays and Junior Olympics. She went on to Western Michigan, where she earned an athletic scholarship and participated in track for 4 seasons, including the '85 season, in which the Broncos won their one and only MAC Girls Track Championship. Her jump of 5'8" in 1980 still stands as Fruitport High School's record today. Karla has contributed to her community in recent years by working in a summer program with at-risk students for Grand Rapids Public Schools. In 2009, she ran in the Walt Disney Marathon and raised $3,500 for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Once again, giving back. Please welcome Karla Galvin.
Well, my thanks goes out to the committee that has come up with the Athletic Hall of Fame. Thank you for putting this prestigious event together. I'm also thankful for the persons or the people who nominated me for this award. I appreciate the opportunity to give thanks as a Christian athlete to our Heavenly Father, who has given me great parents, who supported me through my high school and my college career. I'd also like to give thanks to my coach, Jim Kennard. He was my coach for the West Michigan Track Club. He coached me for 4 years. He helped me as a young adult see who I could possibly be. He helped me as a young adult to raise my vision and to go beyond the community that I lived in. We traveled all over the United States. At the age of 15, I found myself in California competing with other great athletes, higher caliber that I could possibly ever dream of. I was in Nebraska at one time. I was, of course, in Pennsylvania. So by the time I was 17, 18 years old, I had traveled all over the United States being a track athlete and learning what it meant to be a competitor. And so now as I look over my career as a person in our community, I see that I am a competitor for all those individuals who can aspire to be an athlete, a writer, an artist, a doctor, whatever they want to be. I am for them, just like my community and my coach was for me. I am for them as well. So I do volunteer a lot. I work with at-risk kids. I work in the Grand Rapids public school system at times. I work with adults. I work with a lot of people so that they can become who they inspire to be. So thank you very much, Fruitport community, for giving me this opportunity to be a Hall of Famer, like my husband said, be my Hall of Famer. So thank you very much, and this is a great event. Thank you.